working on quilting this with a machine that's in my treadle. The machine is a 50s era Montgomery Ward, and it was made in Japan, but it's basically a clone of a Singer 15. It works the same bobbin sizes. I have it set up with 40 weight thread, 9014 needle. This machine I can drop the feed dog, so I did that. And I'm just doing some quilting on that big star quilt that I made, and I'm just doing real simple arcs. I will zoom in a little bit. You can see the foot that I'm using is a free motion quilting foot, and the noise that you're probably hearing is primarily my loud treadle. This one that I'm in has it's off balance, the wheel, and it makes that pump noise. But it seems to work. It's just a little loud. The reason I was playing with the wheel there is it came loose, which is to say the clutch in the middle came loose, that you loosen that up when you wind the bobbin and then tighten it up again. I could tell that it was loose because the machine wasn't going as fast as it normally would, or the needle wasn't going up and down as fast as it normally would. That made me realize that I was loose. So that's what I was tightening up over there. Anyway, just some basic curves today. This quilt is already, the way I did the piecing, it's already pretty busy. I just didn't feel like it needed a whole lot more, anything really fancy to compete with all this. There's a lot of piecing there and a lot of little bits and a lot of activity, and so I wanted to keep it fairly simple. What I did first, before I started doing this, is I quilted between the straight parts, between each of the sections. Here's the plaid section that I did, that I already got quilted. I don't know if that shows up at all or not, but anyway. Quilting itself is pretty straightforward. What I continue to have to remind myself of is don't go too fast, because that's when you get skipped stitches. fast feet, slow hands. So when I'm pumping that treadle with my foot, I'm going really fast. And when I'm looking at my what's going on top, I'm going slow so that I can regulate the appearance of those stitches and get them somewhat, hopefully, uniform. And one of the things that a lot of people have trouble with, and I've seen people posting pictures of this on various online locations trying to figure out what they're doing wrong, where if you look at the back, there's all kinds of weird looking stitches that are coming apart, and it looks like it's a tension problem. And what it usually is not a tension problem, but it's a speed problem, that you're moving your hands too fast. So in this, I'm trying to remind myself, fast feet, slow hands, and you get sort of a rhythm going that makes that happen. Practice to get that, and I'm working on it, but when I started working on this one today, I kept having skips and gaps, and I kept thinking, what am I doing wrong? Why isn't this working? It must be that it's the needle or the tension, or the foot, because this is a different foot than I have used in the past. And it turns out, no, it was none of those things. I wasn't going fast enough with my foot. And when I do that, my stitches look great. When I start getting lazy and going too slow with my feet, I start to get skips, and I think that I'm needing to make adjustments or do something else, and then I realized, no, it wasn't that, it was my foot. I just ran out of bobbin, I can tell, because it, you can see there's the end of the bobbin thread. So, time to stop for now. More quilting soon. So I'm not a big fan of marking, so I'm just gonna wing it here. And I always start by making a middle. The shape is somewhat of a problem. I don't want to make just a straight line or a standard curve. So I just make a little variety in it. It's not anything dramatic or sharp, the curves, but I just feel like that makes it a little less, I don't know, boring. So I get to the end, then I make this will be where the feather starts. I make one lobe, and then I just sort of work my way around. Look at that big ball of lint that just fell off. That was built up in the spring on the dresser foot. as you, let me put my needle down so I don't lose my place. As you come around, there's a lot more space between my line and my corner. So I'm going to start making these lobes kind of unusual shapes, and to try and, I want to get in there and fill that space up. So it might start out looking kind of weird. When I come back around on the other side, it's when it'll start to, I think, look a little more feathery. Whenever I'm trying to do this with the camera on, that's the time that I make the most mistakes. So I'm sure you're seeing places where I've not traced my lines back over exactly right. Because that's always when I do it the most. But once it's done, it'll be hard to tell the difference between this one and a perfect one. I think we are our own biggest critics, and we let that striving for perfection, we let that be a big hindrance to actually getting anything done. Weird spot on that, and I'm going to live with it. The last thing I want to ever have to do is tear stuff out. That is so not fun. As far as I'm concerned, if quilting isn't fun, then I'm not going to do it. I am not going to tear anything out unless it's just glaringly horrible. And I won't know that until I'm done. Darn it, I ran out of bobbin. Alright, reloaded. Finish this off. And then we'll go pretty fast. Finish the rest. So here it is. Like the way those feathers turned out. I think that's pretty cool. Overall, pretty pleased with it. I need to get a better shot of it. I can't get far enough back to get the whole thing in the frame, but I'll take a couple of stills and post those with. So that's my scrappy star quilt.